So about the flagship statement,
Yeah.
What inspires you to make this special look, as we can see?
Sure. So, statement, we had gone about, whilst we had introduced our ranges at different times.
Yes.
So we had reference, performance, revelation, inspiration, but we didn't have any new products for many years. So people were saying, oh, Constellation, what are you guys doing? What is happening? But we were developing. We were in the background looking at what we could do. Statement was the implementation of switch mode. But it also is a different circuit design because we wanted to show our flexibility. We wanted to show our ability to come up with something totally different. We're not limited by anything. And the look of statement was very important to me personally because I believe that all our designs are very elegant.
Yes.
I think that they would fit into any environment, right? It's important for me, no disrespect to the gentlemen, but it was more important to me that their wives, partners and girlfriends liked it,
Yes.
right? I wanted the women, the ladies, to be happy to have audio products in their home because I think that at the end of the day, you know, when you want something in your house, you want to be proud of it.
Yes.
And so that was a very important factor. You know, my wife, she's my biggest critic, right? And when I try to put out a new product or I have a new design, you know, she'll make these comments and I'm always, you know, thinking hard about it, but I respect it very much, you know, because, and I see at audio shows, I remember 10 years ago, 12 years ago, when we were doing hi-fi, some guys would come in, I want to buy this, but I don't want to tell my wife. Right? I said, okay, why not? Because, oh, she might not like it. Other products. I said, well, but he said, with your product, no problems. And that, you know, so those kind of things were always important. So I use statement together with the company that makes it with me. We designed something that was going to be timeless and elegant and really, I suppose expensive looking is a way to put it, but luxurious.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
Luxury, you know, luxury is it's more than just about money. Right? Luxury is about a way of life and it's also about a look.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So the idea was that statement would exude luxury. So if you saw statement, you would immediately understand that the person who wants statement, who owns statement, understands what is luxury.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
yeah, and that was part of it for me. And but not to be too overbearing. Because you can go a bit too crazy, right? And I did not want that. So I hope I found a good balance,
Yes.
you know, that people will like.
Over the past years of development, have you faced any challenge when designing the product or any fun fact to share with us?
Where do I begin? Challenges are in every corner of development, right?
Yes.
You could be as simple as two designers disagreeing. But I look at that as the creative development process. If people don't have problems, it's not real. It is through the solving of problems that you get to where you are. So just developing a circuit, you might have an idea, but when you implement it, you realize, oh dear, it's not as simple as we thought. So we came across issues like that many times throughout the years. But the good thing is, we always found a way around it. The same applies to chassis. I might like something, but the next guy doesn't. So where do you go? So somebody has to take responsibility at the end of the day. I guess that falls onto my shoulders, right? But I have complete respect for the entire team of people that we work with. Fun fact, I'm a little bit crazy in terms of how I became an audiophile, and that might explain to you. You asked me why I formed Constellation.
Yes.
Okay. So my training in life is as a medical doctor. Okay. And people say, you know, why would you give up medicine for audio? That's a very long story. I won't talk about that. But I will talk about this. When I was a junior doctor, right, you know, you live in the hospital. It's horrible. You live in a small room. Okay. This crazy doctor, myself, at that time, he bought a Levinson 33 amplifier.
Oh,
It's about as big as that guy.
wow.
It weighed about 200 kilos,
Yes.
and there were two of them.
Yes.
And when I moved from hospital to hospital,
Yes.
I didn't own a car. I didn't do anything. I had no money because I'm buying HiFi.
Oh,
I had to get a moving truck
okay.
to help me move my audio equipment.
Okay.
Because I had massive amplifiers, massive speakers, all in a room this big. They were just chucked together, but I loved the idea of high-end audio equipment. I loved the idea of what these people were doing
Yes.
to
Yes.
try and get the best out of sound.
Yes.
But I was still a little bit crazy to be buying equipment like that when you didn't have a massive house.
Yes.
Little did I know that one day I would be fortunate enough to manufacture something. You know, I mean, look, there's so many little anecdotes I can share with you over time, but that's a very personal and not something I have shared with anyone before. But you know, I'm glad to, in a way. So I hope that helps explain a little bit more about why I got into this industry
You're so
and
passionate.
why it means so much.
You're so
Yes.
passionate about the music.
Absolutely. It is a, you know, it's a very rewarding, it's a difficult industry. But once you've been able to get something special, which I believe what we have, then life becomes a lot easier.
Yes.
So,
Yes. Interesting.
great.
So last question, what's your future development and any other things you'd like to share with us?
Sure. So, obviously, we are always looking at new development. But the first thing we would be looking at is statement, is an amplifier. We've been asked the question a few times about whether there'll be a matching preamplifier, and of course there will be. But we are first going to do the new reference to preamplifier, which will be released in a few months. That will be a great match. But at some point in the future, we will also be looking at the statement, preamplifier, and phono stage.
Wow.
They will be quite unique
Wow.
in terms of how they have been designed and the technology and what they can do, right? But again, you talked about problems and challenges.
Yes, of course.
Right. We've got to make sure that everything is okay. So reference to preamplifier we know is already fantastic. It's a fantastic product. So we know what the bar is.
Yes.
And we now want to lift it multiple levels. So that is what we're doing.
Wow.
We will always look at how we can improve things, you know, and when we go forward. And yes, so absolutely.
Wow, wow, wow.
I hope that is a little bit of interest. So
Yes.
great.
Yes. Murali, thank you so much for sharing
Not
a
all,
lot
Annie.
with us today.
No, Annie, thank
Thank
you.
you.